Hi guys, welcome to live tutelage. Now in this session we'll be discussing of something like opening a file, reading the content of the file and displaying here on the console. In our previous session we have discussed how to create a file and open the file. If the file exists, how to open a file and write some content into the file, right? If the file is not exist, create the file and write the content from the program into the file. Now in this session we are going to discuss, now in this program we are going to discuss how to open file and read content of the file and print on console, on Java console. Here we are trying to print it on the console. This is what our program. So for all kind of file operations we require IO. It is a package, input output package, right? If you just put your cursor, it displays what kind of class it is. So in this IO, all your file related operations or all the file related classes and methods, we can derive it from our IO package, right? Now this is the second line is my class name, so which is public class example file. This is my name of the class. Now here I have defined a variable like this. So what is this variable? So this variable is private and the variable is a buffer reader buffer. It is something like if I am defining something like integer a, int type of the variable a. So buffer reader is a class. Buffer reader is a class and which is available in your IO package. What for the buffer reader is useful? The name itself specifies it is a reader. It reads some content from the file. Okay, if you want to read any content on the file, so you have to use a special object. You need to write a special class, so which is the buffer reader. And BR is an object for the class buffer reader. So if you just put your cursor, you can find out here. See, it reads text from a character input stream, buffering characters and reading from the lines. So it reads everything from the file. Okay, now this is an object, user defined object, and initially I have initialized this as a null value. So initially, so it is a null value. My buffer reader is a null, and I am using one more class which is a print writer. So these two, buffer reader and print writer, both are all of the file operations and which is available from your IO package of your file stream, F stream class. Okay, now this print writer is a class which is useful to print something on the console. So if it works as like your system.out.println. Okay, so it is the same function or same operations as of our system.out.println. So you cannot directly use the print writer method. You need to create an object for it. That's why you have created an object for print writer. And this is the syntax for it, system.out.true. When I say this is a true, so I'm going to use this print writer print object in my program and I'm going to print something on my console. Now next this is about the declaration part. Now the declaration part is over. So we need two variables. One is for reading some content from the file and second is printing the content on the console, right? So usually this reader is something like our system.out.in. So when you are trying to read something from the user, you use it system.out.in. Same as the buffer reader, useful to read content from the file, and print writer works as your sys.out.println, which prints something on the console. Now this is our declaration part. Declaration part is over. Now coming to the logical part. Now I want to first, what I have to do, you have to open the file and read the content. So what if the file is not exist? It should throw some exception called file not exist, right? So that's why I'm just keeping my logic in between try and catch method. We have already discussed what is this try, what is this catch in our exception tutorial. Please go through my previous session of exceptions so that you will understand what for the try and what for the catch we have used. Now here I am using the buffer reader BR, the object which I have created in the declaration path. And you are trying to initialize the object, and here you are trying to pass the path of your file. Now here you have to remember the Java will not recognize a single slash, right? See, you can find the red error. So it recognizes the folders, the path in 2 slashes. You have to pass 2 slashes so that it recognizes under D, under example, under Java you are having the text called input text. Now let me see this text whether it exists or not. So this is my D folder, and in this D folder I have an example folder. Go to it and you have a Java folder, and here you have input text. When you open this, you can find some text like this: welcome to live tutelage Java tutorial for beginners, and for more details visit our website. Okay, so now this is the text and the file exists, right? The path of the file is, so D, examples, Java, and input the text. So we have to pass the path with the 2 black slashes. Okay, now if file does not exist, if file not found, you can print this, so which is our, so here the try and catch method. So if the file whatever you have entered the path is not found, so it displays the exception, it throws an exception called file not found. Okay, now here I am just defining a variable called string, so where I am going to store all the content into the variable string, and that string I am going to print it on the console. So initially that string is null, and this part is a do while loop which we are using to read continuously the content of the file until the end of line occurs. How the buffer reader knows the end of the file occurs? If it finds a null value. See, you need not specify any null at the end of the file, but after reading and the content, if it finds there is nothing to read it, automatically buffer reader passes null value. Okay, so to the object BR. So here I am going to repeat it. S is equal to br.readLine. It reads each and every line from our file, from the file, whatever the text is entered, and now it passes to the string S, and that will be printed by using the pw.println. Now you can find out, you can understand what for the pw we have used. Pw is for printing something on the console. The syntax is pw object dot print line of S. Now the while loop continues until br.readLine not equal to null. That means till the end of the file, till end of file. Okay, so this loop of reading of the content will be continued until the end of the file, and it passes the content into the string, and the string will be printed on the console. Now you have closed the file. So what you have to do is, for the file operations, first you open the file. When it exists, do operations, either read or write, right? And when it is done, you have to close your file. You must close the file. Okay, this is the file operations. Now, this is the main method. You have created an object for your class, and through this class you are calling the method called read file. Okay, so the read file will do all reading the content from the file and displaying it in your console. Now let me run the program. Just say okay. Now see here, you can observe this, whatever the content is available here. See what the content is available here. Welcome to live tutelage. And see here, after reading of each and every line, print line will read line will read every line. It comes to the next line. It comes to the next line. That is how our loop will works. Okay. So we have given the loop like this. So while br.readLine not equal to null. So br.line not equal to null means, so you can observe the lines here. I have not specified any null value, but after reading of this line, it automatically passes a null value to the buffer reader BR. Okay, so until it reaches the null, it keeps on reading each and every line. So for example, I am just putting the end here. Alright, and I'm just saving my text. Okay, and you just try to run your source code once again. So you will find that, so this is your input. You just open it, the end, and you try to save this. Okay, now you go to your program and just clear your console and save your program. Right, now run it, so that you should find the end means it creates the null. So I have typed two more strings here, thank you and the end. For my input I have added some text here, and I'm just closing this. Go to your class and just run it. Now you can find it out. See, thank you, the end. Right? So that is how the reading of the file and displaying the content on the console works. Okay, you need to remember only two commands, the buffer reader and print writer. These two are useful and these two are available in our IO package. Okay, and the read line operation will read every line from the file, and print line will print everything on the console. Okay, so this is about file operations. Thank you.